Third, I'll be taking an excerpt from my humor section of my portfolio. It's a story I wrote about my neighbors not too long ago. I used to live in a townhouse off of 102nd Street and Park, 102nd and Park I used to call it.
Oh yeah, me too.
So, the excerpt goes like this. I walked over to her front door and kindly knocked twice. Patiently, I waited for her to answer, and when she did, I politely asked her if she would be so kind and to move the two unknown vehicles from out of my driveway. By this time, her company had made their way sluggishly down the hallway to the door. Slowly, they filled up the walkway. Everybody asking everybody else, "What's the problem? What's going on?" I could see that she didn't want to look intimidated by me. I can understand it though. Me enforcing on her my kind offer and her feeling like I'm almost punishing her for disobeying our past agreement. So with that being said, she looked back at me and with an alcoholic's way with words told me, "No." "Call the landlord," she spat out. The crowd cheered as to say that they had won one for the team. Sheep, I thought to myself as I smiled at them all. I smacked and clapped my hands together calmly and repeated to myself, "It's out of my hands now. Don't blame me if something happens to your automobiles." The last time a vehicle was parked in my spot was in 2008. I had warned all the tenants of whom spot it belonged to. One night I encountered some poor soul who was misinformed, and sadly, I stand ashamed of the carnage I bestowed upon his vehicle. She'll pay for this, literally. When I call the tow man to come vanquish this foreign vehicle from my lot, she'll pay the towing company for sure. But I won't bother my landlord with this blatant display of disrespect. Childish, I think. Later, I went on to write this. "Baby, the Bible says love thy neighbor. You guys are supposed to be neighbors. Why y'all acting like this?" her mom said. And she's right. But I don't know about these people. People. Cows and sheep at best. Farm animals are more suiting. This one mooing, while the flock of sheep behind her, meh, meh, meh. These pigs would serve best along 2 eggs, sunny side. But wait, I hate the taste of ham. Oh well, maybe her friends would make a nice sheepskin coat. I always wanted one of those. And they had their music up all night. I need my sleep. And my kids have to wake up for school early the next morning, she mooed. It was Friday. Her children must have Saturday school. I asked my neighbor politely to not park their vehicles in front of my home. She hasn't done so, and with it has only proved to us that all she suffers from is a disease known as mad cow. But mad at who? Mad at me? Be mad then. Hooves flailing in the air erratically. Crying over spilt milk. Jump over the moon, why doesn't she? Maybe I should have my neighbors for breakfast. I mean, over for breakfast. In conclusion, with what I've learned this quarter, I take this excerpt. I went into this quarter expecting to obtain the most information out of my favorite subject, English. Oh, how I couldn't wait for this moment. Oh, how I couldn't wait for this moment. Finally, a professor of the English language, taking the time to teach me more vocabulary words to include into my already vast, self-acclaimed collection of useful but not everyday vocab. Phil Venditti, PhD. I'd finished all of my prerequisites, but psychology and public speaking, and imagine my schoolgirl giddiness to be so lucky as to take both in the same quarter. The mind would truly be challenged, and my mind was made up to take on such challenges. Full steam. Psychology was deep, thought-provoking, and enriched with physical, mental, and emotional discoveries and theories. But before this could take place, I first had the honor of driving to Portable 34 to be a part of Dr. Phil Vendetti's 11 a.m. public speaking course. Little did I know that I was going to be told daily that I would have to get up from my self-appointed seat and relocate myself elsewhere. Every morning, I shook hands with my classmates and was instructed to learn their names. Ashamed, once again, I still don't quite remember everyone's name. Fellow classmates like Grace, where's she at? Joyce, Kristen, Breck, Isaiah, Wayne, Ryan, Gabby,
she's not here.
Asa, and the two Rebeccas, though each one are individuals through characteristics and in the way they spell their names, I easily remember, but of none of you, my classmates, do I struggle to remember the moments you shared with us. This quarter, I feel that the most important thing I've learned was that you can never know too much of anything. You may be the best at what you do, but you can always be better. Never think that you can't. Once you've told yourself that you can't learn anymore, you won't ever progress further than that moment. My name is Charles Berry. I'm from Spanaway, Washington. Thank you.